I have just reached a streak of 2,500 days on Duolingo, which is more than 6.8 years. During this time, I have been learning Spanish, Portuguese, French, German, and Russian to varying degrees. Here are my best tips for learning a language on Duolingo. Tip number 1. Use the streak freeze. I started this streak on the 22nd of August 2016 and I reached the 2,500 day mark on the 23rd of November 2023. However, between these two dates there have been 2,650 days, which means that I have used the streak freeze a total of 150 times, or just over once every 18 days. If I had chosen not to use the streak freeze, then missing one day might have turned into missing a week, a month, and so on. And missing one day can very easily happen. Maybe you don't have access to your phone one day, or maybe you fall asleep without having played Duolingo and wake up after midnight. It's so easy for something like that to happen, so I would definitely recommend using the streak freeze. Tip number 2. Read the tips in each unit's guidebook. The tips are a good way to understand some concepts that might not be clear from just doing the exercises. For some languages, the guidebooks are a lot more extensive than for others. The guidebooks are, as of November 2023, located to the right side of each unit. Tip number 3. Say the phrases out loud. I have always done this, not just for the speaking exercises, but for all exercises, and I think it's a good way to improve my pronunciation in the languages I'm learning. Tip number 4. Don't lose hope if you can't do a lot every day. It's unlikely that you will be highly motivated to learn languages every day, and sometimes when I don't have a lot of motivation, I just do a quick lesson in 5 minutes and then that's it for the day. On other days I have a lot of motivation and time, and then I can do more. But it's okay and normal not to be super motivated every day. As of today, my total XP is 140,184. When we divide that by 2,500, we find out that my average daily XP is just over 56. That was just a tangent. Tip number 5. For even better results, try to vary Duolingo with other methods of learning. I would say that one of the fastest ways of becoming good at a language quickly is to live in a country that speaks the language you want to learn and being around speakers of that language as much as possible. But that isn't always an option, and what I like about Duolingo is that it's easily accessible, it's free, and it encourages you to learn every day. Other methods you can use to learn include learning at school, reading books, listening to podcasts, watching YouTube videos, speaking to native speakers, or changing the language on your phone to the language you want to learn. Tip number 6. Learning a language isn't like a light switch. It's not like either you know the language or you don't. It's more like a grayscale. And if you're learning a language, even if you've been learning for a while, you're probably somewhere in the middle. You're not at the extremes. But if you think of it like the light switch, then it might become frustrating when you have studied for many hours and still haven't learned the language. Bonus tip. Have a designated time where you do your Duolingo lessons, for example, on the bus to work or after you eat dinner. I'm not very good at following this tip, and that might partly be the reason why I have used the streak freeze 150 times. But on the occasions where I have done Duolingo at the same time every day for several days in a row, I have noticed that the instances of me forgetting to do Duolingo are fewer.